This is the third year of the Counter-Terrorism Conference. The conference has acquired a truly global dimension today, and we have speakers from 28 countries and participants from 35 countries. In a way, this conference, after 3 years, has emerged as the top global level counter-terrorism event in the entire world.
It is our proud privilege to co-host the conference. I am confident that the conference, representing various stakeholders having required knowledge and experience from all over the world, is uniquely placed to work out a workable and effective global counter-terrorist framework.
Counter-terrorism, therefore, needs close cooperation by all the states. One man's terrorist cannot be treated as another man's liberator. IORA's declaration on preventing and countering terrorism and violent extremism is a good starting point for you all.
Terrorist activities are against fundamental values of liberty, humanity, freedom, and universal brotherhood.
In recent years, nothing has caused greater pain, destruction, and inconvenience to societies, governments, and individuals than the phenomena of terrorism. Its manifestation in any shape or form, anywhere in the world, is disruptive of normal life and therefore has to be condemned and countered.
Countering terrorism in our region cannot be separated from our regional maritime security issues.
And I want to say a couplet that very much expresses my feelings towards India and the people of India. Hopefully Ram Madhav will translate it later. वक्त जज्बात को तब्दील नहीं कर सकता, वक्त जज्बात को तब्दील नहीं कर सकता, दूर हो जाने से एहसास नहीं मर सकता। ये दोस्ती है दिलों का रिश्ता, ये दोस्ती है दिलों का रिश्ता, ऐसा रिश्ता जो सरहदों में कभी तकसीम नहीं हो सकता। As I said, if different militant groups are able to organize and able to collaborate, why can't we as state work with each other and are able to deliver on what our population are able to expect from us?
We also have to seriously consider the extent to which terrorism is fueled by ideology from outside the country and money from outside the country. The sources of those funds, the sources of that ideology, have neither a stake in the well-being of the country nor any interest even in the integrity of the country.
terrorism has many aspects to it, and no one country or one society would know everything what's happening. So we need to share experiences, we need to find out who has handled it differently. More importantly, we need to understand the different facets of terrorism.
The Counterterrorism Conference is a wonderful platform where I met people from various parts of the world and was able to share my experiences with them and also learn about the experiences that they had in dealing with conflict and terrorism.
So I believe think tanks like these and conferences like these are very important to make people like me or the youth understand the issues that society and the world is facing today, like terrorism.
But I think for once we have started looking at the causative factors. I think this is the key to the whole thing, where we do not know what are the causes which are causing a person to become a terrorist or turn to terror. I think that is more important. And that is where I think governance comes in.
So, good governance, military action, very important, but they alone cannot resolve any problem. They alone cannot counter terrorism. We need to build the constituency of peace.
There are no winners in this war. No terrorist group has ever really achieved a political aim.
So for policymakers, the lesson here is simple. Indiscriminate bullets and beatings actually help rather than hinder terrorist organizations in the long run.
Radicalized Islamism and then to Islamized radicalism. So we have to deal with both at the same time. So this is a difficulty of counterterrorism issues.
Don't forget, ISIS came from Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda came from the Mujahideen. Mujahideen came from somewhere. So these are the best learning organizations in the world. They are so adaptable. To them, the mission is what is most important.
No matter how powerful the militant organization may be, no matter how much resource you can generate, secession from India or to break any part of India is not possible. Simply because the strength of India is democracy.
We as countries, as determined countries, who are committed to fight terrorists, we shouldn't leave any safe haven for terrorists. Terrorists must know that they are in Iran forever.
For this reason, I would dispute an earlier speaker who said that good governance shrinks the space for terrorism. I don't think so. I don't see a correlation either between governance or personal standing and jihadi violence.
It's really a privilege to be here in New Delhi at the India Foundation's Counterterrorism Conference for 2017. These types of forums are enormously important to generate international consensus about the state of the threat.
It's the first time I'm attending a conference organized by the India Foundation, and I'm very, very impressed by the whole organization of it all, by the delegates present, by the prominent speakers, and I have definitely gained a lot.
It was, as always with the India Foundation, a high caliber event, and what is most interesting that at this conference not all the questions have been answered, but questions have been opened up for further dealing with them.
Now, what is counterterrorism, therefore? Counterterrorism is all about lowering down the motivation that gives birth to terrorism, or lowering down the operational capability of the terrorists. It's enough on the face of it to deal with one factor, because if they have motivation and no capability, they would not launch attack, and vice versa.
They incite violence, and they want, this country to be fragmented. And this is being romanticized in universities in Delhi and also in Hyderabad. There are many intellectuals who actually take up their cause, and I will call them armchair nexus.
The success of Andhra is not just the military success. It is not just the Greyhounds and the SIB. At the same time, there was a political will, and there was a lot of, civil action that was happening.
The global counterterrorism architecture is made up of a dense and complex web of relationships that are mostly bilateral.
Meetings such as this conference, convened by the India Foundation, are a vital part of a broader effort by states and civil society to address a threat that continues to fuel armed conflict and the illicit trade in goods and services, undermines efforts to promote good governance, and erodes the civil and human rights of citizens.
IRA member states denounce terrorism, violent extremism in all its forms and manifestations, and resolve to work to support each other's efforts to counter the threat from this challenge.
यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन द्वारा टेररिज्म की कम्प्रिहेंसिव डेफिनेशन को स्वीकार करने की आवश्यकता है और ऐसे देश जो इस परिभाषा की परिधि का उल्लंघन करते हैं, यदि आवश्यक हो उन्हें दंडित किया जाए और ऑस्ट्रेसाइज भी किया जाए।
After 3 days of frank, passionate and inspiring discussions, I believe we have amply assessed the daunting challenges that we need to address in the global fight against terrorism.
It's great that the India Foundation has now in its third year organizing the Counterterrorism Conference, and we hope to be there for many more conferences.
And we are indeed very honored and privileged to be able to continue to grow this Counterterrorism Conference to make it a landmark event. Hopefully we'll be back in 2018 with a better conference. Thank you.